Dear Anthony, today we're going to talk about luck and what that means in the music business. So I started this all to give you sort of a foundation so that you can have a better understanding of what goes on in the music business, how to handle it, how to get a little bit of a leg up, hopefully, and anybody else who's watching. Just a little backstory. I've been a full-time professional musician for almost 30 years. I think I've seen just about it all. There's things I wish I could unsee. So, luck, what does that mean in the music business? Well, here's the issue. You can be the most talented mofo in the world. You can write the best songs. You can be an excellent instrumentalist. You can be just wonderfully talented. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because there's a lot of other factors at work. I've met some amazingly talented people in the last 30 years. I would say 75% of the most talented are not even in the music business. And some of that's by choice, but a lot of that is by circumstance and happenstance. And why is that? Well, there's a lot of stuff that comes into the equation, one of which being money. For instance, I've seen more and more, this was always the case in the past, but it's more prevalent today. More and more, you'll see people who are born with money getting ahead in the music business. It's just the way it is. If there's that old saying, if you want to make $1 million in the entertainment industry, spend $2 million. I mean, if you really want to be famous, you can spend a lot of money. You can throw a lot of money at it. It doesn't guarantee anything, but if you are talented and you throw a lot of money at it, that does have something to do with it. But let's not really deal with that. That's beyond our purview because we don't have money. So what can you do? Well, the luck part is that sometimes you're just in the right place at the right time. Now, can you put yourself in the right place at the right time? Aha. Yes, you can. I have many, many, many friends who are constantly working it. They're always hanging out at the right place. They're always connecting with the right people. I have some friends who overdo it a bit and they make themselves a nuisance, so you don't want to do that. But being part of a scene that's happening and connecting with people and being supportive to those other people on the scene and offering encouragement, offering your assistance, your help, your abilities wherever necessary can be very helpful as part of networking. But being part of it, being in the right place at the right time is pretty key. I've had several situations in my career where I was just in the right place at the right time. I've had more where I missed the boat. And that's because I'm just not really, I just don't feel comfortable doing that stuff. I don't know what it is. It's probably some psychological thing. I'm sure shrink will tell me it's something from my childhood. Whatever. It's just not me. I make music and I'm happy if I don't get those opportunities. But if you're young, which I'm not, and you want to get opportunities, you want to be in the right place at the right time, you want to network, be part of a scene, be encouraging, be supportive. Make sure people think of you and be like, oh yeah, that guy, right, yeah, why don't we give him a call to be on this? And you never know, you might be on the next hit record. I've got a buddy I grew up with, his younger brother. I remember him practicing all the time and we all played. My buddy, his older brother, played. We all played in bands. We were all music obsessed. But I remember his little brother, I think he was 10 years younger than us, working his ass off, playing all the time. Well, he had a recording studio in New York and that he co-owned and was, trying to work it. And a young upcoming artist came in named Lady Gaga, made her first record. And of course, it was a big hit. His studio was booked solid ever since. So, and he'll be the first one to tell you, he didn't really have that much to do with that record, but it helped his career. So, luck's a big part of it. I have plenty of friends who just happen to be in the right place at the right time. There's certain things you can't foresee. There's certain things you can't plan. So you can't get frustrated, okay? So if you want to do this for a living, it's going to be very difficult to appreciate that sometimes good things happen to bad people. Sometimes good things happen to people that you may feel are less talented than you. It's just the way it is. I can't explain it. I don't know. I don't even think about it anymore. All I know is I do my work. I try to be as excellent as I can every day. So I would highly recommend that be a tenet of your everyday mantra and procedures, is just be as excellent as you can. And I don't get caught up. I don't care. I don't really care what anybody else does, but you can put yourself in the right position. Another thing is there's no rhyme or reason sometimes. Like, look at the guy who turned down the Beatles. The Beatles, right? This was like the top A&R guy in England at the time. He turned down the Beatles. There's another A&R guy who turned down the Dixie Chicks. And even better, if you watch the Bob Dylan documentary, Bob Dylan's manager, or it wasn't even his manager, it was the Izzy who ran the folk center in New York. And he never does this and never did it before, but he took Bob Dylan to Folkways and Vanguard, right? Two venerable, respected, legendary labels, even at that time. He took Bob Dylan to Folkways, took Bob Dylan to Vanguard, and they both turned him down. Bob Dylan. What? You know what I mean? So you can't get upset about things. You can't get wrapped up in who gets what, because this industry is crazy, all right? It's just just the way it is. And I can't explain it all the time, but sometimes it's just catching the right person on the right day. Catching that person in the right mood, the right day of the week, when they've got nothing else on their table. Popping up in a restaurant when you've met them before and being like, hey man, how's it going on? Oh, I'm in the middle of something that you might be perfect for. Okay? It's a crazy business. It's a business built around ego and fragility, and luck plays a huge part of it. So don't get upset. Don't get too caught up in it. Try to put yourself in the right position. Always, always, and I said this in an earlier episode, don't lose your connections. People you're meeting on the way up, stay in touch with them. Even if it's only an email a couple times a year, do not lose touch with those people, because a lot of those people are going to go on to do something. A lot of them won't, but a lot of them will. And just happening to reach them at the right time, some of the songs I've gotten cut over the years had happened to been, so-and-so saying to me, oh yeah, so-and-so's recording a record, you should send them a song. And I was like, whatever. And, in fact, there was one Grammy-nominated artist that was like, I sent them 6 songs, and the first 5, and you should never really send 6. You should send like 3, maybe 4, but I sent 6. And the 6th song was basically a throw-in. I didn't even think it was that important, but I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty, throw it on there. Boom. That's the song that ends up on their Grammy-nominated next record. You just don't know. You just don't know. But if you're not trying and you're not connecting and staying in touch with people, and if you're not out there, it ain't gonna happen. And also, don't be angry about or frustrated or unhappy for other people's success. You should be happy for anybody who's successful in this business. Seriously, like there's people I really don't like, but I'm not unhappy for their success because I know how hard this is. Really. So I don't begrudge them. God bless them. Rock on. Has nothing to do with me, so I'm not unhappy for them. I applaud them. Move forth and prosper. You know what I mean? But there are signs for you to follow. So don't get frustrated. There is a lot of luck involved. If it doesn't happen for you, it sometimes has nothing to do with you. But as I said in earlier episodes, if you hear the same thing all the time about your art, you might want to reevaluate that stuff to get better or improve that thing to put yourself in a better position to get lucky. Okay, so get lucky, be well, and I'll see you next time.